Entrevistas Alfa.
Yo soy Andrea Tassier de Alfa 91.3, and today I'm here with Swedish House Mafia to talk about this new era, new music, and what's still ahead. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so
Thank you
excited
for having us.
to have this
Having
conversation
us.
with you. So I would like to start talking about your new single, Wait So Long. This feels like the beginning of this new chapter. So I'm really curious of what made this track in particular the right way to set the tone for this new era.
Sometimes you don't actually think in those terms. I don't think that we really think so much about, is this the right track to set the new tone for a new era? It's more like, hey, this track is finished. We love this track. Let's put it out. We've never really tried to overthink things so much. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, just go, Sometimes you just, oh, this one, but go. Like, you can overcomplicate it so much if you
Okay.
start like, oh, what about this and that one and so.
Okay, but you definitely are calling yourself like this is like the new rebirth for Swedish House Mafia, like 3.0. So when you say like the rebirth or the 3.0 of Swedish House Mafia, what does it mean to you, like behind the scenes? What does it actually mean to you?
Everything. For us, it's about, when you embark on something, you really focus on like the creative and the sonics and the way we do shows, the way we market stuff, the way we think about everything. And for us, it's kind of free to reset. It's a really nice reset. Especially with the new label Superhuman and the concept and the show, everything is like a reset for us. And we're still like we're just discovering music at the age of 15. So for us, it's really like going and grinding and just like pushing things forward for us and really challenging and just really working really hard to keep ourselves excited and the things we do, and the more time we've done this, the more we want to do.
I think that's really important that you're doing it for yourself.
100%.
You definitely are doing what you love, and you have no, like, there's nothing trying to hold you back against that.
Nothing.
So you're definitely free on that. So, this new era actually comes at a different era in time. So do you have that in consideration when you're making your new music? Like, time has changed, and how are people gonna receive my music, or how should I adapt? Because I think that you are one of the biggest bands of all times. So how do you, this must be really scary when you're releasing new music, so especially as the eras change. So do you keep this in mind, or are you just being free with doing whatever you want?
No, I think we are like, when us three align on something, we go, and I think that's the key, because in the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter how much things are changing around you, we would never release something that we hate, just because we're not a product like that. For us, it's more like we want to release music that we love. We want it to look a certain way. We push things we play shows we want to play. We go to cities we want to go to. For us, it's about that more than what it is about anything else.
Okay, that's really interesting. So about this new album, you've said before that you scrapped a whole album, but then decided to pivot on singles instead. So I'm really curious on what this decision taught you about yourselves.
We were still out there exploring stuff, and sometimes to commit to a whole album, it needs to feel like a body of work. And we just felt that we wanted to have some fun in the studio. We always have fun, but you know what I mean? Like, we wanted to just explore. And that's what we felt was good for us at the time. So just bang out some music and, play them out and just have fun. but you know, a body of work is always a body of work.
Yeah, definitely. So this is like a more personal question, because I was doing, well,
I love personal questions.
I was reading a few of your interviews and watching your interviews before, and you said at some point that when you were really young and you began meeting each other, you would love to just hang out and play some vinyls together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm really curious on if each of you could share like a record that actually changed you, or maybe that a record that you would think that everyone should at least hear once in their life.
I mean,
I
there
can
was a lot back then. There was a lot. Like, I think we played at least one song every day that changed us. You know, there was so much good music coming out back then. Like, I remember from my end, I think it was a lot from the French, the Daft Punk, the Bob Sinclair, and the Roulette label and everything like that. That was very inspiring at the time. I think we all agreed on how much we loved Daft Punk all the time. I think there was also Prodigy, that was inspirational, and then just like a lot of techno records also. It's like Adam Beyer stuff, Drum Code. What else? Jeff Mills, Eric Morilla was a huge inspiration to us. The Subliminal label was huge. Like literally every release we obsessed about.
there's so
Radio
much.
One. Every weekend we listened to Radio One, Pete Tong. Like there
There was
was
so much,
Stuart Price. There was like every remix
so
he
much
did.
music that was differentiating it from each other. So today, I would say a lot of music kind of sounds the same. And I'm not talking about electronic music in general. I'm talking about music because there's so much music coming out, right? And um, there's so much to take in. I say this like for me to go into musical platforms is almost to go into like supermarkets. It's so much going on. And it's not a lot of noise, but that's also nice because you can find really like independent artists that you wouldn't find that has 500 streams, but it's incredible. So it's beautiful in a way. But I would say that back then, without sounding too old, stuff was really different. There's like a lot of stuff because you wouldn't really get recognized if you didn't have your own sound.
Yeah, you're right.
And today it's kind of like there's so much more than the music that you need to do. And it's TikTok and it's social media, which is amazing as well. And the people that are great at it, like, you know, to invite you into their home almost on twitching and streaming and doing all those stuff. Like Fred again is amazing on those things. And his music also stands out. So it's a great combination, and he's very authentic to his music and his art and craft. But I think that, you know, back then, like Axe said, it was so much music that was differentiating from everything else. Like, you know, Paul van Dyk was sounding amazing on his trance music, and Tiesto, and
Moby.
then you had Moby that was more like almost like an indie band in electronic. Then you had
Prodigy.
Prodigy. For me, it was LCD Sound System that had a lot of like punk rock with electronic influence. Then going back to Daft Punk was two techno DJs with samplers that wanted to be a disco band, you know? And it's just so interesting. You know what I mean? That's so interesting. And so the art history behind it is massive.
It is. Now that you mentioned TikTok and maybe ephemerality in new music, what do you think? I mean, are you afraid of this like new era in which you could maybe just release one song and it will just vanish into ephemerality?
I think it
Yeah.
also, I mean, I think it's also like most of those type, like there's a type of artist that usually does that, you know, or if it's like a rebirth of an old song that comes and goes. But in the end of the day, the artist will always stay if there's substance, you know, and like Seb was talking about the artistry of like, it doesn't matter in the end, like it can, a song can blow up, but if there's substance to the artist and there's like, you know, strength and volume and there's vision and there's thought and there's time, into
I
something.
mean, look at
It's
your
gonna
T-shirt.
last.
Look at your T-shirt. They are pioneers of electronic music.
Yeah,
I mean, they had the art history, the visuals, I mean,
yeah.
everything. They were absolutely trailblazers in all electronic music. I would say a lot of hip hop music too.
Yeah, definitely.
But then on your question there about music releasing, releasing music and for it to just vanish and like have zero place, basically, that's a reality for a lot of people. But I do hope and I maybe believe also that if the song is actually quite good, there's a potential that it might eventually be found by somebody and, you know, maybe it will become something, maybe it would just take a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely. Even many years later with covers
Yeah,
and yeah.
exactly. With eventually Stranger Things will make all the songs
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a question about how you balance your music, because I feel like you have two sides of Swedish House Mafia. Like you have really big vocal collaborations on some side, but then you have others that feel very dark and actually made for the club. So
Yeah.
how do you balance those two worlds without losing your essence?
Oh, that's exactly it. Because we can do both, It's just awesome to like, I feel like pretty much we do one of each, So then we get that out of our system, like, oh, now we've done one of those. So now we feel like doing one of these. And now we have done one of those. Now we can do, it's like a release every time, you know? After making like a big vocal song, like you feel like just, I'm done with that now. I want to do like something that just bangs, And then after you've done that, you start feeling like, oh, I'm starting to feel the need for some chords and some harmonies all of a sudden.
I also think that like it took electronic dance music fans about 20 years to be really wide, and consume everything. And that's really beautiful now with like the young generations. They consume so much music. So you have space as an artist to just express yourself and being an artist. I think there's, the wall of like, oh, you have to fit in a folder, you have to sound like this, you have to do that, you can't do this. Like that's gone now with social media and streaming platforms because people consume so much different music.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Yes. So now I would like to go into your live sets.
Sure.
Your sets feel like a lot like architecture. They have tension, they have release, they have long shadows, they have bright moments. My question here is how much of this arc is pre-designed and how much it is just like improvised once you get in the room and feel what's going on around you?
I think it depends on the show.
It can be both, to be honest. I think that no matter if we have an idea before, or we just do it on the fly, it kind of has the similar thing, because we know the songs that we play and we feel the crowd. And also if we sort of work on a set before we're going to do a show, we can already know also a little bit how it might be. So, we have the feeling of this is a good way to start and this is a good way to end maybe. And, and then in the middle, we'll see what happens and we can go that way and this way. So it's just, I think we treat it similar.
Okay. So that the next question is more about Mexico, because you're having a show here in Mexico in October, at the end of October. So every time you come to Mexico, the energy just feels another level. So I have a question. Do you have like a specific memory of a Mexican show that still latches onto you?
I think every show we've ever done in Mexico has been insane,
But we did one with after the Swedish show, we went straight to Mexico to do.
Oh, 2019.
Yeah, that was I don't remember the venue's name where they have the Formula One.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh yeah.
yeah, maybe
For us all, yeah.
that was magical. And obviously last time where they were magical but we feel this one is going to be even more magical.
Yeah, this venue is insane, so it's crazy. So we're really excited about this.
Yeah, I think everyone here is excited as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. it's like a great comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So, yeah. So in this new era, I'm thinking about collaboration, because collaboration has always been a very huge part of your story. So in this new era, how did you decide who you're gonna work with, and what makes this collaboration right for this new era?
Basically, the first one that we released of the new era is Wait So Long. And Axe always had an amazing passion for the original of this song that's actually came out 10 plus years or something that I can't really, you have to quote me on that. But, and we also love the song. And we always wanted to make our own version of this song. And so that collaboration, obviously, we had to speak to Plan B in person. Axe has great dialogues with him, and and for the rest, that's what we're sitting now and listening to. So if there's someone, it could be famous, it could be not famous. We don't really think about impact when it comes to status. We think about impact when it comes to culturally, or impact for us, what really moves us, like, wow, this is amazing. Why do you buy a certain tomato? Because it's extra shiny for you, and you know that you're going to cook a nice dish with it. That's how we see with music and sounds, or collaborators as well.
Perfect. Now I have just one last question for you, and then you're free to go. I was listening to an interview from a long time ago in which you said that this whole project began as just a bunch of young people with a lot of big dreams and ambition. Yep. But now that you really made it big, because you really made it big, 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 what are the dreams that still keep you going?
I'll tell you what changed. We have bigger dreams and bigger ambitions. That's the difference.
But it's also the constant ideas of new songs that keeps us going, I think. Like you always think, what if we did this? What if we could do that? It's like, I think it's the constant chase of the perfect song,
So we love to go and see our fans. That's the best thing we'd like to do in our lives. When we are there and our fans are there, singing along to our music, having a good time, that's the best thing we know.
That's great. So that's what's moving you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Of course.
Thank you
so much for your time, and this conversation was amazing. And we're all really excited to have you here in Mexico and for this new era.
Thank you so
much.
See you there.
Thanks. Good questions. We love you.
Entrevistas Alfa.